Hi, my name is Jay.
I'm Joe. It's
Hey,
nice
Joe.
to meet
Good
you.
to meet you, Joe. Joe, we're out here at Mount Helix in La Mesa, California. We're out asking the big question to people. What do you think is going to happen to you after you die? Your eyes go closed, and what happens next? Something or nothing?
Oh, I'm going to go be with Jesus in heaven. I have no doubt in my mind anymore. That was a question that always eluded me as a child and growing up as a young man. But in my heart, I have peace. I have things that come at me now in my life, because life's still coming at me, and there's a lot of rough spots. But I trust Him. I trust Him to carry me through them, and it just helps me evolve closer to Him in my walk. I just cling even harder to Him now. In the past, I used to run to drugs and alcohol and women and various things, but my walk's closer than it's ever been. I'll give you a little bit of my testimony.
Okay, what was that pivotal thing that just said, I got to walk away from this stuff?
Well, it took. I got served with papers for a divorce, and we were losing our house. I lost my job, and I had to have surgery on my back. But before that, I hurt my back, all within a few months.
Wow.
And so I think God was trying to get my attention.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was standing in the bay window of my house. I had a $500,000 house up in Crest. I lost it. I'm standing in the bay window, absolutely blasted on vodka at 8 o'clock in the morning, wondering which pistol to go get out of the closet because I was going to give up. And I got a call from a man I'd met on the Coronado Bridge 5 years earlier, a Christian man who was ministering to me, and I was listening to him. He calls me out of the blue that morning and asked me how I'm doing, and I told him, that's funny you called because I'm not doing that well. And absolutely hadn't heard from him in 5 years.
Wow.
And he called me right then in that morning when I was thinking those thoughts. So I knew it was from God.
Sure.
And he met me at the restaurant down the hill. We drank coffee. He gave me a Bible. He prayed over me and gave me some direction. And actually, it started with some AA program, but led right into the church, got involved. I usher now. They gave me keys to the place, if you can believe that. Just involved with the youth ministry because of my kids. Mm-hmm. And
Wow.
starting my own men's Bible group.
Wow,
Through
great.
Ronnie and
Wow.
Rick got me started in that. So God is good. He brought me from the edge, and that's how much He loves me.
Yeah. So what do you think makes a person stay in that party life and just kind of maybe they hear about God or what what do you think?
Pride.
What do you think
For me, it was pride.
Okay.
Because I thought I was in denial my whole life. I always would run to Him when I was in trouble, and then when things were going good and I was making $100,000 a year, I didn't need Him. And so it was myself thinking I could run part of my life and never letting go of my whole life and giving it over to Him. And I don't think I knew how to do that. It took Him to shake the foundation of my very life to my core for me to just let go of myself and let Him control my life. And that's what it took.
Mm-hmm. So somebody out there right now and that's involved in maybe drugs, alcohol, just living that life and they're making money or maybe even selling it, who knows? What would you tell them to do right now, this very moment?
They're running a high risk because if something goes wrong, they're around a lot of dangerous people, and I've lived that lifestyle and watched a lot of people go away, and I don't know where their soul's resting, and that's not good enough for me. I want to know without a doubt where I'm headed after this life, because it's either heaven or hell. There's no in between. There's no empty space where you go to. You're either going to burn for eternity or you're going to praise the Lord for eternity. And I know I'm locked in now. I don't want nothing else. And I tell them that. I'm very bold now. With I used to go to work. I worked up at the plant up at San Onofre, and I wouldn't tell anybody I was a Christian. This last time I went up there, a couple months back, before they had all their trouble, I was praying over people right in the street, and I didn't care what people thought. Mm-hmm. I watched people get healed. God used me, and great. It's all the glory goes to God, but I've just watched Him move like crazy in my life now. There's nothing better.
Yeah.
There's nothing better.
Yeah, it's that peace within yourself and just having that assurance. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so well, my wife and I, we went through a trial. You went through a trial. We went through a different kind of a trial. In fact, you mentioned Ronnie. Ronnie Holderby was actually involved somewhat in the aftermath of and during and helped us grow
Yeah.
at a certain time in
Yeah.
our life.
Those guys are so cool.
Anyway, what happened was right after the San Diego wildfires in 2007.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we lost an 18-year-old son in a car accident. We lost him suddenly. We didn't get to say goodbye.
Right.
My son went to Ronnie Holderby's Bible study. Very close to them. Helped him grow tremendously, just learning from him. But how it happened was a little unusual. My son was running cross country, and he'd run cross country since the age of 8. He ran 40 miles a week on average.
Wow, so he was
in good shape.
He was in good shape, yeah.
And the car he was driving when he got in the accident was a used car. He'd just been driving it for a week. It'd been garaged and everything, through the fires and everything. Jumped into it one day on his way to a running class up at Mesa College. So it was the middle of a day, dry road day, just like this, and he was driving too fast to a running class. He was in his shorts, some running shoes, and a T-shirt.
In a hurry.
In a hurry,
Yeah.
and he was pushing it. Going up, see that freeway bridge over there?
Yeah.
Just beyond that, there's a house with a white cross on it. Just beyond that was a house with a white cross on it. He died in the backyard of that house that has a white cross on it. That cross was there many years before my son's accident. It's right by the College Grove Shopping Center.
Right.
That's his skid marks coming off the freeway. They hit a tree here, split his car in half, ripped him out of his seatbelt, and he landed in the backyard of this house looking directly up at the cross. Parts of his car went completely around the cross and the roof. We actually have news video coverage of the owner of the house picking up parts of his car around the cross.
Well, I'm getting like chills on my body right now.
So that was a trial in our life. There was another thing that occurred right after that. My son donated his body to an organization called LifeShare. You know, that thing, that donor thing you see on the car.
Right.
And an 18-year-old got my son's UCL in his arm. He's a baseball pitcher. And he wrote us a letter. I got it in here. That's a real nice letter, thanking us for the donation.
Right.
So we were just really thankful. He was real thankful. He left his phone number at the end of the letter.
Yeah.
He said, please call me. So my wife got in her cell phone, called him, and didn't get him on the phone, but left him a voicemail. So we waited for a phone call back from him for a couple months. Nothing came by. Well, my wife and I, we've been foster youth mentors for many years. My son was really actively involved in the foster youth program as well.
Right.
Helped a 10-year-old boy, taught him how to ride bikes, quads, camped with him, and all kinds of things. Well, one day we were driving with our mentee to Coronado for a bike ride. We were living in Hamul at the time. We drove on the 94 West Freeway, and we were driving on the freeway. We were right in front of this house on the freeway. My wife's cell phone rings. Who do you think's calling us at that very moment, all three of us in the car, right in front of the house?
Tell me.
The kid that got the UCL in his arm.
That's what I figured.
He's calling us right in front of the house. So we're all stunned he's calling us. So we said, huh?
How would he know that?
Yeah. So we all decided to have dinner together up at the Claim Jumper restaurant in Carlsbad. We all sat down to eat, and the 18-year-old boy, Blake, he started asking questions. He said, what kind of car did Devin pass away in? And we told him it was an Acura Integra.
Right.
And he goes, I drive that same car. And then we talked to his mom, and his mom's a CASA. They're like foster youth mentors. They take the county out and shop with them and all. So all this stuff is hooking up.
Right.
We felt God was involved with all. He's involved in all we're doing,
Obviously,
right?
Yeah.
And I don't think I just randomly come up here and talk to you. I'm talking to you to
Purpose.
yeah, the purpose for it all,
Absolutely.
right?
I know
We're in
that
this
now.
walk.
I know that now.
So the other thing that occurred, my son his best friend was still in high school, and he was a senior in high school, and he actually was saved at my son's funeral service that Ronnie Holderby did.
Did he?
Yeah, and it was
That's a
actually his
beautiful
first
thing.
funeral that he'd done, and and they asked, he had a call out for Christ out during the funeral service, and my son's best friend raised his hand. And so my right after that, he ran the San Diego Cross Country Championships here. It's a big high school event that's done down at Balboa Park.
Right.
My son's best friend won the race.
I did.
And his entire team actually won. And they all ran with headbands that says R.I.P. Devin, and the day he was born, the day he passed away. So, you know.
Like a super kid.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah. So,
you get to see him when you go to heaven.
Yeah. I mean,
you know where he's at.
Yeah. So, I mean, that just, I go through this life, things are going to happen to get us to keep that focus.
Right.
I want to get there.
Yeah.
My dad's up there, too, now.
Yeah.
And I just lost him recently. He accepted Christ in his deathbed. You know,
so did my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prayed with him in ICU.
Wow.
Yeah.
Same with me.
Yeah,
that's that.
right
How long ago did you lose your father?
That was 12 years ago.
Okay.
But he wasn't a believer.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was quite an ordeal. My mom and my sister were freaking out.
Yeah.
And that was back when I was intermittently, you know, I was serving the Lord, but I hadn't fallen totally in love with him like I am now. So, yeah, but it was a good thing, you know. I don't know. I just see him moving. So there's so much. I think a revival is just. I think we're on the edge of a revival right now in this country.
We need it.
I really know. That's what we're praying for at Foothills.
Good.
Yeah, we've been doing that for over a year now, and I just. I don't know. I'm just willing to be used. I just always pray every morning, whatever you have for me today, Lord. If there's opportunity, I'm willing and ready for you.
Yeah, I'm good for you, John.
So yeah.
Well, thank you for your time.
I'm glad I've met you.
Yeah.